Good morning everyone, welcome to another video on the channel. Thank you very much for joining me on this July series. My name is Warren Bennett. Trev, he's around somewhere, he's probably just hiding away from this hot sun we've got this morning. We've got a really hot day, so you might see me kind of sweating up a little bit. So if you watched previous videos, you would have heard me say quite a lot that the body is broken down into three parts: legs, body and arms and hands during the golf swing. I'm going to give you the most simplistic way to swing the golf club using these three parts of the body. So we're going to break it down into backswing, downswing and then the through swing. This video is all about making the golf swing as simple as possible for you, and I'm going to give you some ingredients to help you with that. Okay, front camera set up and we'll see you in a bit. Let's hope the sun stays out. Okay, so thanks very much everyone for tuning into another video. Really appreciate all your support. So making the golf swing, breaking it down into all these different body parts. And there's certain areas of the golf swing you don't use either your legs, body or arms and hands. So I'm going to tell you what kind of ingredients you should use for the backswing, the downswing, and then obviously the follow through. So before we get going on the backswing and the first ingredients, I'm just going to give you a little tip on the grip. And you'd rather have the grip going through your fingers than in your palms. If you've got too much of a palm grip, you're not going to be able to use and give yourself the best chance to allow this club to swing. If you've got your club going through the ends of your fingers or just kind of where your fingers meet your palms, then you've got more chance to give this club some range of motion and give your wrists some range of motion. Okay, so that's just one tip. Through your fingers a little bit more, wrap your hands around the club, and then you've got more chance to kind of swing the club correctly. Okay, let's get on to the backswing. Now in the backswing, out of the legs, body, arms and hands, we only really use our body and arms and hands, so 2 out of the 3 ingredients. Right, so first of all, what you want to do, let's just stick the club into your belly button and we're going to twist. That's obviously the body element of the backswing. So we're twisting our belly button and our pockets are moving towards our back camera a little bit more, so let's say a 45-degree angle. If I had the club across my shoulders, I'm twisting and my kind of shoulders are hitting into my chin. That's the body twist of the backswing. Weight is being pushed over or pulled over to my right leg by twisting. So my belly button, my belt buckle, my pockets and my torso are twisted, and obviously my shoulders as well. That pulls my head slightly over to the right, so you can see the peaks of my cap are looking like to the right of the ball as I look down, so I'm not swaying. So that's the body element of the backswing. Now, as well as the body, like I said, we use our arms and hands in the backswing as well. So as well as that twisting element of the backswing, but we're now allowing the club to swing back with us. We're not moving a lot with our arms and hands at the moment, just allowing it to swing back. Kind of our arms have got the same amount of pressure I've got at the top of my chest there. They're not doing a lot for the first little bit of it, so you can just do this little exercise. There's a twist. I'm really twisting my belly early, allowing my pockets to move, allowing a bit of weight going back into my right leg, into my right heel area, and there's a little twist. Now from there, it's definitely a hand motion in terms of hinging the club up in the air, because what goes up must come down. If you bring this club round and it's too low, it's now going to come over and it's going to be too steep on the downswing. So it's blending up those two motions of a twist and a hinge up, and then it just continues up to the top. So I would say the most important position at the top of the backswing is halfway back, left arm parallel to the ground. You want the club to be pointing up a little bit. Doesn't have to be completely vertical, but I'd rather use this side of the fence than this side of the fence. The twist, hinge up and continue your turn. So not a lot happens with the first kind of quarter to third of the backswing, and then from here a hinge happens. So you're just hinging these wrists and then you're continuing the twist. And there's your backswing. It's as simple as I can make the backswing. If you want a no-brainer with the exercise, you kind of hinge first, twist. Obviously you can't hit a golf ball like that, but that hinge first, you've taken care of it, and now you're just twisting and turning your shoulders. And you can see it's going to be in the same position as if I just kind of just go bang. But you've got to practice this hinge, everyone, right? So it's a twist of your body. You're staying pretty stationary, as you can see, with a line. I've always say it in all my videos, there's not a forced sway over to your right side. So a coil and a turn allows you a little bit of weight on the right side, but I'm staying over the ball. So break it down, twist, not a lot of movement. You can see there I've still got my kind of structure I've got at address there with the kind of the Y shape you can see with the lines. Still kind of got that Y shape here, and then from here it's a hands and arm motion as well as a tiny bit of twisting. There's obviously a little juggle between the two there, which is difficult. You're twisting your torso, letting your pockets go, a little bit of turn of your shoulders as well as the hinge with your arms at the top. So at the top you've got this kind of look where you're kind of nice and wide, your arms are kind of nicely structured. You can see my left arm pretty much keeps its same structure, and it allows a little bit of wrist hinge, and that's hinging there. You can do it kind of halfway back if you like. It's like you're kind of just moving the club back and forth with your wrists. Only a little bit, that's exaggerated. Twist, keep everything structured, hinge, nice and light. Okay, so let's move on to the downswing. Okay, so that's the backswing, 2 out of 3 of the body parts used in the backswing. The downswing, I would say predominantly you need to use your legs only. Obviously there's an element of your body being used because it's kind of your torso downwards, it's like your belly button downwards needs to be activated. You don't want to be using any of your shoulders, top half of your body at all. So I'd say, I don't know what, 75-90% of everything is done with your legs in transition. Depending if you're a hooker or a slicer of the ball, hooker would stay a little bit more passive and use the ground a little bit more. Slicer of the ball who kind of sits back and cuts across it, too much weight on the back, they'd really want to feel some lateral shifts. So let me show you. So you've got the backswing, keeping it nice and simple, remember, nice one piece, nothing happens. Hinge up to the top, continue to twist a little bit more. Now from here, as you can see the lines, we're after a little bit of lateral. So you're not doing anything with your arms are allowed to drop in the slot now. Let them just fall. So like I've said in previous videos, you'd rather be this side of the fence in terms of lateral shift than staying behind the ball. You might start it right and hooking doing that, but that's not a bad thing, is it? You'd rather be that side of the fence than staying behind it here and cutting across it. Really going to lose some distance. So keeping it simple, twist and hinge, and then it's more legs. So it's a lateral shift here. You're not doing anything really with the top half yet, and not really doing anything with the hands and arms. You're allowing this free ride down, nice and light, because anything nice and light can travel quickly. So the downswing is a 1 ingredient recipe. So it's just basically a little bit of lateral shift, a bit more legs. So get off your right side, get into your left side, and that allows your arms to fall in the slot, keeps the top half passive so you're not using that, and it's getting you ready to hit the ball. Keeping your head relatively passive, there's probably going to be a little bit of movement obviously, but you're keeping nice and light with everything. Allow this to drop in. The barometer is your right elbow. Your right elbow should start falling into your side there. Yes. Okay, so that's the downswing taken care of. And once I tell you about the follow through, we're going to gel all these body parts together. Anyway, let's get on to the downswing. So we've got the backswing, 2 ingredients. It's body, arms and hands, then it's legs. And then from here, it's, I would say, a bit of everything, but I'd say it's more torso. So it's a little bit more body and then arms and hands. Obviously, depending on your fault, if you're a slicer of the ball, you kind of want probably a little bit more hands and arms action. If you're a hooker of the ball, you need to get a little bit more rotation, but we're trying to blend all those feelings up, remember. So backswing and downswing into the slot. Then from here, you're looking for a little bit of rotation, so it's just feeling like you're open, and then your arms and hands take over as well. So it's a little bit of blend of everything. Because if you do that downswing right, you're in the position to hit. So from here, it's more body and arms and hands that go along for the ride. Obviously, like I said, depending on what your fault is. But if you want it to be neutral, everything kind of turns together. And the feeling for me there is my pockets, my belly button are twisting round, and obviously my arms and hands are getting kind of released as well into the ball. But the main kind of steering wheel and engine room for the follow through, I would say, is belly button. If you can get your belly button working and twisting, then your arms and hands will follow that arc as well. So that's the kind of the nirvana to the follow through, really. To twist and a hinge, downswing it's more legs, follow through it's a little bit more body, and obviously let the arms and hands come along for the ride. So there's your blend, keeping it as simple as possible. Remember, like I said at the very intro, the golf swing is not a simple exercise. There's a lot of moving parts, and the secret to consistency is getting these moving parts, these 3 ingredients to our body from a golf swing, moving and gelling together all as one. And that's the secret to consistency, because we can't feel the golf club, So it's a kind of swinging around us. So we've got to put ourselves in the correct position for it to kind of swing more consistently, and then hopefully the ball gets in the way. So it's being able to kind of trust, and the only way to do that is to get in the right position. If you want the right results and the consistent results, if you're inconsistent, that means there's too much compensation going on. So you need to be in the different position for the club just to swing through, and then the ball just gets in the way more consistently. Lack of compensation, that's what consistency is. So 2 ingredients in the backswing, which is body, arms and hands. Downswing is legs, and then the follow through is more body, and then a little bit of arms and hands release as well, depending on what your fault is. Remember, if you're a hooker of the ball, you don't need your hands and arms. You've probably got too much of that, so you need your body. If you're a slice of the ball, you probably need a little bit more hands and arms. So that's a real kind of personal thing to you. And this is as simple as I can make it. You're looking for a twist, not a lot happening with the arms and hands at the moment. Then hinge takes over, because obviously arm takes over there. A little bit of drive with the legs now, which sorts the club out. You don't need to worry about where your hands and arms going, if that's kind of the steering wheel. And then from there, then the turn through or the release of the hands, depending on what your fault is, remember. And then you gel that together. And just like I've said in previous videos, is you're working on speeds. Nice and slow to start with, to allow ourselves some awareness time. Twist, hinge, legs, turn. And that's a little mantra that you can do. Twist, hinge, legs, release. Remember, release is either body or arms and hands, depending on your fault, either a hooker or a slicer of the ball. And then you just work at different speeds. So I'm going to hit 3 more, and I'm going to show you what you should do. On the practice area, into a net, air balls at home, or just practice swings at home. You actually don't need a ball. 2 out of 10 would be this speed. For me, twist, hinge, legs, release. Don't worry about strikes. Let's go 5 out of 10. Twist, hinge, legs, turn through. It's actually easier to do kind of a 5 or 6 out of 10. It's obviously difficult to do when it's so slow, but it does give you that awareness time, especially when there's no golf ball there. Good for practice swings up. And then obviously let it go after that. Gripping your fingers nice and light. Allow the club to feel heavy. Activate the turn, the twist early. No arms and hands yet. Hinge it up. Really feel some lateral shift over. That allows the club to drop in the slot. Then you either release with your hands, body, or both to be neutral. Okay, let's trust it. And that's how you blend the golf swing together. So all those pros you see at the British Open have a swing that's in the correct sequence. And that's what I'm doing here. But it's doing it in the most simplistic way. As you golfers just want something as simple as you can to take out on the golf course and to gel and get better, and to have something on the range as well to be able to practice and get your teeth into a little bit. So it's blending all these together. It's really important to keep the golf swing simple, but remember, it's not a simple exercise. This thing's going between 70 and 120 miles an hour, obviously depending on what club you've got, and if you do swing it quickly, if you've got that physical capability to do so. But if you get yourself in position, the club will take care of itself. The golf ball will just get in the way. Thanks, Seagull. Remember, my mate Neil said to gain control in golf, you've got to lose it. But you have to be in the right place to be able to let go, really. And that's what Neil's saying. Okay, everyone, so lovely to have you along for another video. Thank you very much for making it this far, if you've stayed around. And thank you very much for all your support during this July series. I really appreciate everyone's comments, good or bad. Now from a cloudy south of England now, so we bid you farewell. No Trev today, so it's been a bit quiet, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great golfing day if you're playing, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.